Welcome, my Phoenix family! Inspirational videos are everywhere. The problem with these inspirational videos is that when you're an amputee that may not have the same level of physicality as some of these other people do. And you might start to think what's wrong with you when your recovery doesn't go according to plan or according to what you see on Instagram. For example, you might see someone running a marathon 6 weeks after amputation, and that is actually more of the rarity than it is the normal. But sometimes these inspirational messages we can see online will lead us to believe the toxic traps that if we don't have an incredible journey overcoming amputation or overcoming complex regional pain syndrome, that our amputation is a failure. However, I'm here to tell you that you're not a failure at all if your recovery journey looks different from Instagram. And if you are one of those amputees that's lucky enough to be able to do some of those amazing feats right after amputation, it's not necessarily a problem that you can do those things. I just want to make sure for those of us who can't do those things that you're getting the right message, that it's okay for you to want to be an athlete amputee, but it's also okay for you to not want to be an athlete amputee or to not be able to. For CRPS amputees, I think it is especially important that you understand to be okay with the fact that you may or may not be able to use a prosthetic. You might only be using a wheelchair, but you might still experience less pain than you did before an amputation. So whether or not you use a prosthetic doesn't necessarily make your amputation a failure at all. But managing those expectations to keep them realistic will help you a lot when you get to that process of grief and healing mentally from your amputation. The reality of recovering from such a huge surgery, such as amputation, is something that gets messy. It's often a tiring process, both physically and mentally. You could be dealing with phantom limb pain, prosthetic fit issues, battling to manage your leftover pain. You might be contending with depression. You could be fighting with something like PTSD, or simply just really sore from the day before. So thriving after amputation isn't nearly as easy as social media might make it look. Every single day is a conscious choice for me to not allow the loss of my leg to be the thing that takes away my joy. It's also a choice for me to let the loss of my leg become a testament to my faith. It is a choice every day to continue moving forward. So please don't let what you see online let you compare yourself to other people. And don't compare your worst moments to somebody else's highlights. There's some people that have even looked at my amputation as a failure, simply because I don't walk all over with a prosthetic leg all the time. However, my goal was never to completely get rid of pain. I knew from my doctors that there was a pretty good chance that I would have pain for the rest of my life. And I had to be okay with that before I was ready to have my amputation. And due to the severity of CRPS that I experienced before losing my leg, they were right. I still do have a lot of phantom pain. And maybe I have a bit more pain than I expected to have after amputation, but I'm still way better off than I was before because there's finally hope there. So I want you to be looking for the right kind of inspirational videos. Videos like this one that show you what real amputee life is like and what success can be. I am committed to authenticity because I already know that my vulnerability has helped people and has the potential to save lives. That to me matters way more than any social media metric ever will. Your amputation success isn't measured by the mountains you climb or the marathons you finish. Overcoming what happened to you for you to be here today doesn't have to look like pushing yourself beyond your limits. Amputation success for you might look like you can be with your family more. It might look like taking a dog out for a walk. It might simply just look like going grocery shopping again. Something kind of minor that a lot of us probably take for granted. It might look like you still have to rely on pain medication to get through your day, and that's okay. Success might simply mean that you have a better quality of life because you're not curled up on the couch all the time in horrific pain. So continually working on having that better quality of life is what makes your amputation successful. So when you feel like you're not a successful amputee or that your amputation might have been for naught, remember that you don't have to compare yourself so much to others. Just because the people that you see online don't show themselves struggling, that doesn't mean that they don't struggle at all. In fact, many of them do. Your small daily wins make you successful. Working on not overdoing it with things because you have chronic pain, for example, is also another way that you can be successful with your amputation. And if you are dealing with chronic pain, you can head over and grab my free guide with all sorts of tools to help you in that journey of learning how to manage your chronic pain. You can grab yours at rise.onefootedphoenix.com. You don't have to shut off social media altogether, though, in order to avoid these toxic thinking traps. And also be willing to ask yourself what kind of things might not be shown. So, what's a toxic message you've heard online recently? And what will you be doing to distance yourself from that toxic trap? To see the next video all about defining amputee success, click over here. And I'll see you all in the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye!